Let's get into the latest here around KJ Wright, and is he potentially returning to the Seattle Seahawks? When I look at the top free agents remaining, especially at the linebacking position, I'm going to sit here and say that KJ Wright, he's the best dude available. Sure, he's 31 years old, but if you're an NFL team and you're trying to win football games, and let's say your window is right now to win a Super Bowl, you need to be able to figure out a way to get KJ Wright back. So the latest report out there is that Wright, he could play with a lot of different teams, right? But he wants to play where they are a contender, and he wants to play with a familiar face. What does that mean exactly? When I think of like familiar defensive systems, the top teams that are the most familiar to him, obviously, New York Jets. How exactly is that? Well, Robert Salah, some connections there. The Dallas Cowboys, Dan Quinn, so he knows that defensive scheme. The Las Vegas Raiders and Gus Bradley. New Orleans Saints, they have Chris Richard. And obviously the Seattle Seahawks, the team that he's been with literally his entire career. These destinations are also according to The Athletic. So when they broke down all the top destinations and top, let's say, likelihood of where KJ Wright's going to sign, the other thing that they left out is money, right? Like, some of these teams don't have the amount of money that it's going to take to be able to bring him in, because I get that he's 31 and the market might be drying up a little bit. I mean, this guy's phenomenal. 86 tackles last year, 12 tackles for loss, 2 sacks, 16 games. It's actually like his first year, he hadn't had over 100 tackles in like 5 seasons. KJ Wright is an absolute baller. But look at these career stats. 941 tackles, 66 tackles for loss, 13.5 sacks. One of the biggest reasons why Seattle's defense has been as dominant as it has been, and why they were known as the Legion of Boom, is because you had a guy like Wright always in the middle of the football field there. So let me hear it. Where do you guys think KJ Wright plays in 2021? Go down to the comments section right now and predict it. If you guys can predict it, there's going to be a lot of NFL teams out there that are no doubt probably really stoked and really excited to see where he ultimately ends up going. But you can't deny the talent. And if you're really trying to sit here and say, okay, if I'm KJ Wright, if I'm going to try to go to a winner, if I'm going to also try to get paid, I don't know if a team like Seattle does make a lot of sense. But out of all the teams, if we could show that one more time, Sam, according to The Athletic, if you would ask me which team probably has the best chance of winning in 2021, it's the Seattle Seahawks. Now, they have the least amount of money, but they're going to win more games than the Jets. I think they're going to win more games than the Cowboys. They're going to win probably more games than the Raiders. And the Saints, they're a hard team to be able to predict because they're also in cap hell. So, I mean, if KJ Wright's biggest thing is to win, he should probably just go back to Seattle. If he wants to get paid and play with a defensive scheme that he knows, maybe the New York Jets make the most sense. So one more time here, let me hear it in the comments section. Where will KJ Wright end up playing in 2021? He's a veteran. He's going to be 32 at the start of the season. But if you're looking for a solid solid middle linebacker, shit, he could play almost anywhere. Where do you guys think he's going to go? A lot of talent there. The age is there. But he's also going to want to get paid. This is probably his last chance to really bring in a lot of money. Let's now get into more news and rumors here around the Seattle Seahawks. Carlos Dunlap, is he headed back to Seattle? Well, according to John Clayton, and anytime I say according to John Clayton, I want you guys to just realize, take it with a grain of salt. He was once very, very good, and now when he says something, people almost take it as scripture. He's just shooting from the hip. That's what John Clayton does now. But according to him, it's very favorable that Dunlap re-signs with the Seattle Seahawks. Obviously, Dunlap had a good, strong end of the season in Seattle. He did not play a lot with the Cincinnati Bengals for whatever reason. Basically, Cincinnati wanted to go younger, and Dunlap showed, like, hey, I might be getting up there in age, but I still got a lot left in the tank. The Seahawks then cut Dunlap this offseason because he was scheduled to make $14.5 million, which I believe is the exact number. The issue is, if Dunlap thinks that, hey, man, I want to get paid over $10 million, he's not going to go back to Seattle. Clayton and I agree, which sounds kind of hard to say, but we both don't think he's going to get $10 million, and nor should he, because right now the market is a little bit strange, especially for some defensive players. But when you look at what he did in 2020, he still had 6 sacks, 9 tackles for loss, 4 pass breakups. But what I was really impressed by was when Carlos finally came in and learned what Seattle was doing, he was very successful, especially at the end of the season. But when you look at his career numbers, I mean, there's no doubt that he has had a phenomenal year. Over 500 tackles, over 87.5 sacks, 109 tackles for loss, 62 pass breakups. I mean, you're talking about one of the premier edge rushers over the last 10 seasons. There's no doubt about that. And if you're a young team like Seattle, which they might actually have to start bringing in some of these younger guys on the defensive line, I would love to have a veteran like Dunlap ultimately come in. So the report was that he's likely to end up re-signing with the Seattle Seahawks. It's really just going to come down to money because Seattle, they don't have too much money to spend. So let me know here, why for yes and for no. Will the Seahawks re-sign Carlos Dunlap? If you're going to sit here and say why for yes, I appreciate you. Try to let me know where you guys, or how much you think he signs for. If you're going to say no, he's not, be an overachiever, let me know some other place he ends up going. Who here loves the NFL? Do you? You love the NFL? If you do, then subscribe to Chat Sports. I got producer Sam in my ear saying, yeah, perfect. If you're sitting here, yeah, I love the NFL. Hit that big red button that says subscribe. Join us for all of our Chat Sports shows. If you're watching this on our Seahawks channel, well, guess what? You got some work to do to catch up, but you guys have been absolutely balling out. Now, maybe you guys are watching this on our main YouTube channel because I'm live right now on Monday, and you're seeing here are other YouTube channels that we have at Chat Sports. Bottom line is this. If we make a channel, they will succeed, but sometimes you just got to give us a little bit of time. Down below, you'll see the link to the channels if you do want to go check out these bad boys, like our Bears Now channel, getting close to 24,000 subs. The more subs you get, the more videos you get. Now, for the Seahawks, I don't think you guys are quite at a live show yet, or you're not quite exactly at daily videos, but if you get up to the amount of subscribers that the Raiders and Cowboys have, you will get all those things. Bears, you will get all those things. Now, they already passed the Eagles channel, but if you see your favorite team on here, go subscribe to that channel, because I guarantee you this, the more subs you get there, the more we will do. We cover the latest news and rumors. We do everything here at Chat Sports, and we are an interactive YouTube channel from top to bottom. We have a lot of fun. We are always in the comment section checking out what you guys have to say. So seriously, if you love the NFL, and if you're a diehard fan of one of the teams that y'all just saw up here on screen, go subscribe. That link is going to be available for you in the comments and in the description. So there's no reason why you guys haven't subscribed yet. Let's go to the next story here around Seattle. And again, according to John Clayton, he was asked, what about Jadeveon Clowney? Could Jadeveon Clowney end up going back to Seattle after a pretty disastrous year in Tennessee? Well, I agree again with Clayton. I don't think it's very likely that Clowney ultimately goes back to Seattle. Clowney apparently still wants about $13 million a year. If you're an NFL team and you offer Jadeveon $13 million after the year that you just saw, and realistically the career he's had, I think you're crazy. I really do. The cap is down. This is a dude who's sure he's got a big name, drafted #1 overall in 2014. But, I mean, dude, in 8 games, no sacks, 19 tackles, 4 tackles. I mean, he was bad last year. There's just no other way to put it. And sure, he's had some pretty solid numbers throughout his entire career. But I feel like this guy had all the hype coming out of high school, was the #1 recruit, went to South Carolina. He was good, had a big tackle against Michigan, and then everyone's like, this guy's going to be the greatest defensive end that's ever lived. He has all the athletic tools, I think, to be that. I question his work ethic. I also question his ability to stay healthy. So for Clowney, he needs to figure out ultimately how much he is going to be able to get. But if he's looking for $13 million, I guarantee you one thing, it's not going to be with Seattle. And if he's looking for $13 million, he's going to be waiting a very long time, maybe even longer than what he waited last year. If I'm a team, I offer Clowney like $5, maybe $6 million a year. So how about this? Who do you think would be the better fit for Seattle? Let's just say money doesn't matter, okay? Money doesn't matter. The contracts are the exact same. Who would you rather have if you were the Seahawks? If it's Carlos Dunlap, I want you to type CD. If it's Jadeveon Clowney, I want you to type JC. Dunlap's by far the better player being able to get after the quarterback. Clowney might be the better run stopper, but if you're Seattle, you still need to be able to generate some pass rush. You still need to be able to really pin those ears back and really get after it. So one more time here. Who's better for Seattle? CD for Carlos Dunlap, JC for Jadeveon Clowney, and if you're a diehard Seahawks fan, go subscribe to the channel, youtube.com/SeahawksTV.